Hi, welcome to Lovin Sheila. It's great to be with you today. And what we're going to talk about is walking in our freedom, not dimming our light, living out loud, creating the life we want without inhibition, with freedom. I'll introduce myself again for those of you who are new to our podcast. I'm Sheila, and I am your run of the mill everyday girl or everyday woman who works, who has a career, who has a family, who has responsibilities, who is trying to make the most of this life and trying to put it all together and re emphasize the importance of the relationship that we have with ourselves. Because oftentimes, in the middle of managing our career, our families, and everything else that we have in this life, we forget about taking care of ourselves and we get disconnected. And so, my purpose here is to, while I'm reconnecting with Sheila and Lovin Sheila, to help you reconnect with who you are and make sure you're doing the things that embody you, whoever you are. No one can tell you who you are. It has to be discovered on your own. So I'm walking through my journey of discovery with you, and hopefully you're discovering more and more about yourself. Before we go further, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our channel. And if you will, follow me on IG or TikTok, where we'll be giving little tidbits of what we're doing here on the podcast. Let's talk about living freely, living out loud, living boldly, being who we are, being unapologetically who you are, and walking in it with boldness, with confidence, and with assurance. There are so many people and things that try to suppress who we are. And sometimes it's even us. We try to assimilate, we try to get validation, we try to fit in, we just try to do what's expected of us. And in the process, sometimes we're just living a life that is not reflective of who we are. And so we really have to take a moment to make sure that the life that we're living is representing who we are, what we believe in, and how we want to live. Because we can be squished and conformed to fit what other people expect of us and what the world thinks is acceptable for us. But we have to define that for ourselves, and we have to walk in that, and we have to be free. And in order to do that, you have to free yourself from others' expectations and what demands of life are and the demands on your time are. You have to take a moment to tune in. It's always important to tune in to who you are, to make sure that who you are and what you represent is being expressed outwardly. Because believe it or not, it isn't always. And I'm an example. I've lived probably 20 years of my life where I suppressed most of who I am in order to accommodate those I was with. I gave little tidbits of my real expression, but not fully. And so now I'm trying to walk in a full expression of who I am. And it's a daily discovery. And I'm going to call this, in a sense, living out loud, a free expression. It's bold. It speaks volumes because it's loud. When you are free, I think it is evident in the things that you do and how you represent yourself. And so I want to talk about this because this has been an awakening of sorts for me. It has been something that I am truly trying to lean into. And trust me, I have not yet apprehended it all, but I am trying to daily be more expressive of who I am, what I want, and creating, and like I always say, designing the life that I choose, that I want. Let's talk about the power of living out loud, of painting the canvas exactly how you want it, exactly, with no particular rules. I mean, of course, we're going to obey the law. Okay, understand this. God is at the forefront. You know, He is the author and the finisher of our faith. We obey the law. Now, outside of that, now we're going to talk. Painting the canvas of our life with no rules. Putting different things together that you might not think go together, but they are you. And you have the freedom just to do exactly that. So we're coloring outside the lines. We're painting the canvas the way we want it. We're using colors that you may not ordinarily put together, but it's a reflection of you. And if that's who you are, then that's what you do. And that's power of living out loud, the power of being free. I've spent years being appropriate. doing what I thought was right, people pleasing, walking in the place I thought people wanted me to walk, not being too far to the left or to the right, but just right here. Even though I did it in my own way, I wasn't really rocking any boats. I was acceptable. I was easy, I guess. I think I was easy to get along with because I wasn't going to go too far left or too far right. So I definitely colored inside the lines, and I was me inside of those lines. I found a place where I could exist within those lines. Within that, there were remnants of me that showed so many things I didn't even realize. I did not, for years, I said, I'm not creative. I don't have a creative bone in my body or whatever. And then I started to see the things I created, my t-shirt line and even this podcast, and the things that I say or the styles that I put together that don't quite make sense. Why am I wearing this headband, you might say? But it's because I want to. That's my creativity showing up in different ways. But for years I did not recognize that. I just thought I was just really straight-laced, pragmatic, and practical. I didn't see the creative part of me. And truthfully, that was what was dying to get out of me while I worked in corporate America and I dealt in spreadsheets and negotiations. I really just wanted to create and be a flower child in a sense, and just fly by the seat of my pants and be spontaneous. But I had to redirect all that energy and just focusing on a plan and how I was going to meet that plan and meeting my objectives. And my objectives did not allow me to be too creative. I had to stay within certain parameters. And as I've matured and I've discovered more of myself, I realized how important it is for us to tune in to who we are and how important it is for that to be expressed. Because if it's not expressed, it's very dulling, it's very dimming, and I think it can be, and for me, I think at times it was depressing. And so depression is not something that I want in my life and certainly don't want in yours. And so I had to deal with, how can I be the truest expression of me? How can I be free to be me? And how can I lean into it? Freedom, what does it mean to me? How can I express myself? How can I create the life I want? How can I do what I want to do? In the last year, I've certainly said, I don't do anything I don't want to do. And I kind of leaned into it. I said no more, and I found myself alone more. And that was fine, because I've always spent a lot of time alone. I've always worked at enjoying my own company. And quite frankly, I do enjoy my company. Even if I'm just going to sleep, I'd rather have the good company of Sheila than bad company zapping and draining my energy. I've always been a person who did quite a few things on their own, alone. And it's never been a big deal. I mean, I've been going to the movies alone for probably 30 years now. Going out to dinner and out to eat alone. I actually met my husband at a restaurant when I was dining alone. So I spent a lot of time with myself doing the things that I love, because I realized if you don't do it, if you don't just do it, you'll miss out. Everyone's not on your timetable. Everyone's not ready to do what you're ready to do when you're ready to do it. Prime example, years ago, my first trip to the Bahamas, I was all set to go with a girlfriend, and things didn't work out in her schedule. Even though we had booked it, she backed out. And I was really contemplating, what am I going to do now? Like, what? I've never been out of the country. Certainly haven't been out of the country alone. Do I really want to go? Can I do this? And so after some prodding from friends and some thought, I went on my first trip out of the country to the Bahamas, and I went by myself. And it opened up a whole new world for me. It was like the next month I wanted to go back by myself, but it wasn't quite in the budget. But I just realized, if you wait for other people, it may never happen. So you really grab life by the horns and do what you feel you need to do and not be held back, because we only live once. And we have to take advantage of the different opportunities that we are given. And try and live with no regrets, because we are free. It stopped me from going on that trip to the Bahamas 30 years ago. I mean, I was free. I had a passport. I could have passport will travel. So the only thing that could stop me was me. What's inside of me? What fears, what concerns do I have that would prevent me from going and trying to have the best time I could? So I took advantage of that, and I had a great time. I had the time of my life. I enjoyed myself immensely. I've since gone back several times, and I've gone back alone a couple months ago, and again, had the time of my life. And so it just helps me to tap into the fact that we have to seize the day, seize the opportunity, take advantage of everything, and make sure that we are free and that we are not allowing anything, whether it's our stinking thinking or whatever it might be, to keep us from doing the things we want to do, from expressing ourselves the way we want to. This freedom is taking the restraints off. And that hits a lot of areas in my life. There's restraints in a lot of different things. There's restraints in relationships, restraints at work, restraints in my finances and whatnot. And obviously we have to be responsible, but we also have to take care of ourselves and venture out, because, you know, a life sitting here and a life without taking chances, I don't know that that's a life that is being lived. And like I told you all from the banks of the Bahamas a couple years ago, life is for the living, and you are free to live and to enjoy your life. So do just that. And I'm reminded, I've been reading, or just finished reading, a book by Case Kinney called The Opposite of Settling, because obviously I'm in a situation where I'm not interested in settling. Anything that enters my life is to propel me forward, to enhance it, to make it better, to be an addition. It's really going to be a benefit, because I'm looking at everything that comes into my life as, how does it benefit me? What is it bringing to my life? If it's not bringing anything, I don't need it. If it's bringing struggle, if it's bringing stress, I don't need it. But if it's enhancing and bringing new things to my life, and it's teaching me new things and giving me new outlooks on things and giving me new experiences, then I'm willing to jump in. That's what I'm looking for. So in this book, he's talking about that, the opposite of settling. And exactly what it is not just settling down and thinking, okay, we're going to go somewhere, now we can chill and life is over and we'll just grow old together. No, what are we going to do as we mature, as we grow older? How are we going to enjoy ourselves? How are we going to bring adventure and fun and new insights and revelations to each other's life? That's the opposite of settling. But I digressed a little bit. He talked about living your life with out of town confidence. And I know exactly what that is. I know exactly what that is, because like I told you, I like to travel, and I've taken some solo trips. And in the process of solo trips, you find yourself being a little more engaging than you would be if you were with your friends, because, you know, it's just you, and maybe you want to make friends, or maybe you just don't care and you're just like, forget it. I'm free. I don't know anybody here. You know, I've had all those experiences where I'm like, nobody knows me. I don't know them. I'll never see them again. You can just find yourself being a little more confident, having a different swagger. You're out of town. Nobody knows you. You can be whomever you want to be. Now, not to say that we're going to create a facade, but at the same time, it gives us whatever hindrances, whatever things that keep us in bondage and keep us from being free, you can kind of let it go. And he's talking about living every day with that same out of town confidence. And I think that's valuable, because that's what's going to allow us to move through life with freedom. And also just being unshackled by the daily encumbrances of this world. Out of town confidence, freedom. You are who you say you are. Whatever you like, that's what you like. What you don't like it. You're just free. There's no one there to tell you who you should be and what you should like and how you should behave. It's all on you. Okay. In Case Kinney's words, out of town confidence it's a way, confidence to be who you really are, unshackled by the daily persona we are expected to wear in daily life. And that speaks volumes for me. And that's what I've tried to take into every aspect of my life here recently. Now, oftentimes I do me, and like I said, I do me alone, because it's easy to do you when you're alone, because when you're around other people, you kind of have to integrate and compromise and so forth. But though I do me, I don't always do it uninhibited. You know, I even told my girlfriend, yeah, as I was reading this book, it's like, yeah, I want to live more out loud. As I feel like so many times I hold back, especially in relationships, especially with expressing my feelings or my interest. I kind of hold back, and And the people who kind of put themselves out there, maybe they get more of what they want. So first thing I thought of when I was reading the book was putting myself out there more in regards to relationships. But everything is in steps, so I'm taking steps on this. If you spend years conforming, doing what's expected, being a good girl, breaking out is not going to come overnight. It's going to be a journey. Breaking out is not going to happen overnight. And it's also, you have to understand you only live once. And this is a way for you to live without any regrets, to seize the moment, carpe diem, if you will. Live with no regrets. Be free. You just have to disregard what people think and be you unapologetically. For me, I took myself on a date. I went to a karaoke place, and I planned it. I got my outfit together because when I do karaoke, I like to perform. I like to wear something fitting of a performance, I'll say. I got my playlist together, knew what songs I wanted to sing. So I prepared. I was like, I'm excited. I'm going out. I'm going to sing. I don't have to wait to see if I have a partner, if someone wants to go and karaoke, because that a lot of times that's not people's thing, but it's my thing. It's something I enjoy, something I have fun with. So I went alone. I sang for 2 hours. I sang about 20 songs. I cannot sing. My voice was literally gone. My throat was killing me. But I laughed and I was in the moment and I had a ball, and I did my little choreography, which I could have had better choreography, but I did it. And I was in the moment and I was free, and there was nothing that could stop me because I was going to sing. I was going to try and hit every note I could. And I know it wouldn't sound good, but I was going to do it because I was free and I was going all out. So I just sang, and I was sweating, and and I was dancing and I was laughing all by myself. And I recorded it and the next day I posted several of the songs on social media. And like I said, some might say it's cringe. It wasn't good singing, it wasn't good dancing, but it was me being me, enjoying myself, having fun, being light, laughing all by myself, enjoying my company. My friend asked me, why did you post that? Like, with knowing how social media is, and they'll probably eat you. I guess she thought they'd eat me. But I said, because I'm free. And I don't know if she understood me, but I'm saying because I can, because I'm free, because I can go and I can have a good time. And it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, because it's me. It's me doing me, and I'm enjoying myself, and I'm free. And I wasn't always free. I couldn't always do those things. So I'm walking in it. I'm embracing it. I'm loving it. And nothing can stop me. Again, unstoppable. Part of the reason I posted it is to share, because maybe karaoke is not your thing. Maybe that's not how you express yourself and how you visualize yourself as a rock star. I obviously do. But maybe it's something you want to do. And maybe you're not that great at it, but you enjoy it immensely. I posted this to say, do it. If I can expose myself and my poor singing and my bad dancing, you can do whatever it is you want to do. We are free. There's nothing to stop us. And most of the time, you'll find, and I found, like your friends are going to support you because they see, oh, she's doing her. She's living her life. She's having fun. She's happy. And real friends want to see you expressing yourself, being happy, doing your thing, and leaning into that. They're not trying to shape you and make you what they want you to be, but they love you and appreciate you for who you are. And the people that I want in my life appreciate the fact that I might get cringy, that I might go and sing a really bad song and then post it on social media. Like, yeah, but I'm comfortable with that. And the people who support you will love you for your efforts and support you in your efforts, because it's not about how good you sing or how good you dance. It's about how you take advantage of the life that you are given, and how you seize the moment and make the most of it, how you can enjoy your own company, and how you've grown to love yourself. And being with you is fine and in a happy place for you. You don't have to find it in external things, but you can find your happiness internally and express it. Find your thing, whatever your thing is. I told you in like one of my first podcasts, I met a woman, and she was our sons were the same age, and she's like, what's your thing? And I'm like, Jaden, my son's my thing. And now I realize we need a thing. Get it. Be free. Find your thing. Lean into it. Improve. Perfect it as much as you can. I may never be a good singer, but I can get the words right. I can do that. Let's take the little gains, the progress that we make, and regard it as a win. Because that's what I found. Getting up, getting dressed, going to the karaoke club, setting up, getting my outfit ready, picking the songs. I leaned into it. I planned it. I seized the moment. I made the most of it. And that's what we can do. That's a small example, but it can be used on many levels. Do you, whatever that is. Don't let the world choke you out of fully expressing who you are. We are and we will continue to create the life we want. And our life is not mother's life, father's life, sister's life, husband's life. It's our life. So you have to create it, create what you want it to be. I was on a very long date recently and I found myself in a pizza shop. He took a moment to do a dance and I'm thinking my first reaction was like, why are you dancing, in this place? Like it's not appropriate. What? And then after I thought about it, I was like, I like this. Like he's leaning in, he's doing what he feels, and it doesn't matter what people think or who's looking or whatever. It's like, this is what I feel like doing. I'm going to dance. And so I took that moment to dance with him. And we had a moment where we just danced a little cringy dance in the pizza parlor. But those are the moments that we create, the moments that we make what we want to make. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks you should be doing in that moment, or if you should sit and wait for your food quietly. Do you. Do what makes you happy. Be free to express yourself how you want to express yourself. If you're happy and you want to dance, if you're thrilled, if you're just happy to be with this person, dance. Do you. Express yourself. I think it's a beautiful thing when relationships or courtships, when a person is free and expresses themselves and tells you exactly how they feel without fear. Because so many times we get caught up on, if I say too much, or if I don't want to show my hand. But I think it's a beautiful thing when you can express yourself, when you say, this is how I feel, this is what I want. You're not afraid of the reaction, or you're not afraid of anything, because you rather live and you rather be free and you rather put it all on the table than live your life with regrets and think, what if I had just shared, or what if I had just told him or her how I felt? Let's not be hindered by fear of rejection or fear of any kind of way, because if it's not meant to be, it won't be, it won't happen, and you'll understand that that's just a learning experience. And if it is, you have shown up in a way that is meaningful to someone. And I'm talking about it. I'm doing my best to walk in that. I haven't always been free in that area, but I'm working, I'm getting there. And I think I've had some dress rehearsals to where now I'm ready to be more free and available and open with communicating my feelings. I encourage you to do the same. Live in the moment. Be free. Take this life as an experiment that is for living. So while life is gonna life will life, make sure that you're taking life and you are living it and not letting it live you, not letting it run you. Make sure that you're manifesting the things that you want it to be, instead of letting it throw you all these curveballs and have you adjusting to everything life throws at you. Be free. Make it what you want it to be, or lean in and do the work to get it to where you want it to be, because we're free. Another thing, just in terms of creating life or taking life by the horns and doing you. My son and his girlfriend came and visited me over the weekend, and lovely time, lovely visit. But they were more into each other than necessarily me, so I gave them space to hang out around here. And I went and found something to do, and it really just led me. I found a movie to go see. I think it was, I hadn't even heard of it, but I was like, I just want to get out. I got dressed and went out, and it was called Big Beautiful Journey, I believe. And it was a romantic comedy, and I'm all about the romance. I love love. And so I was like, I'm good for this. So I went to see a romantic comedy by myself, and I got my popcorn and my Coke, and I sat in the movie. And I'll be honest, I wasn't that entertained through the movie, but I kind of sometimes I take an outside snapshot of me, and I was loving what I saw because I was there. I had my blanket. I was taking my blanket to the movie, and I had my popcorn and my drink, and I was like, this is living because I'm by myself. I didn't have to be by myself. I could think of really a handful of people I could call that I would love to have gone on this date with me. But I did it for me. I did it without compromise. It wasn't like, oh, I need to find someone who's willing to go with me. I could go on a date that I didn't want to be on, be with someone I didn't want to be with. Compromise, basically, because I'm compromising my space so that I have someone to go to a movie with. So I was so happy when I looked at myself and I was sitting there watching this film, but without compromise, and realizing that I value my own company, that I value my freedom, that I value being with me, that I like spending time with me. I don't bore myself. And I can't say the same for some people. They bore me. So I'm happy that I can, stand on business, not compromise, and just for the sake of having company, realize my worth. I realize what I have. I realize what I have to offer. I realize that my time, my energy, my essence is valuable, and I can absorb it and just be in it rather than give it where I don't want to give it. And so it makes me happy to know that I'm free enough to know, how can I say this? That my presence enhances things, and I don't give it where I don't want to give it because I'm free. I don't need company for the sake of company. If it's not valuable, pardon me, if it's not value added, if there's not some type of equitable exchange, some type of addition to my life, to my freedom, to my expression, if it doesn't add that, I'd rather enjoy a film alone with my own company. And so that's freeing in itself there too, because I think a lot of times we always think we need company, or maybe we need a man, we need someone to share this with. But there's power in not needing someone to share things with. There's power in doing what you want to do because you want to do it, and not letting anyone stop you, not having a date stop you, not compromising to have a date, to be in someone's presence that you don't want to be in. So I felt empowered. I felt free. And though I didn't totally love the movie, though I did learn some things I'll probably share with you later, that I learned in this movie and that resonated with me, I was empowered by the fact that I was able to enjoy me, to lean in without bitterness, without being angry, or without wishing someone were around, but to be able yeah, I'm just going to go out and try and find something that I enjoy and do it. And that's what I did. And that's what I've really been leaning into. And that's what I encourage you to lean into. And that's the lesson from this podcast today, is do you. Be free. Express yourself. Be who you are. Let it blossom and let it bloom. Are those the same thing? Grow into who you are freely. Find the things that you enjoy. Take the trip. If you have to go by yourself, go by yourself. Go to the show. I mean, I couldn't find anyone to go see Usher with me, so I went to Vegas and saw Usher in Vegas by myself and had the time of my life. And so the thing is, a lot of times we don't want to do it, and we're like, who wants to go? And we're looking. Doesn't matter who wants to go. What is it? One monkey don't stop no show, or whatever it is. Do it. Usher was only in Vegas for a period of time. Rome will always be Rome. Paris will always be Paris. But there are some things that we need to take by the horns and just do it right now. And just understand you are free. There is nothing that can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you. Make a plan, figure out how you're going to do it, and do it. And that's what I encourage you to do. Just be free and recognize that you are free. Don't let anyone stop you. Be who you are. Do not compromise to be accepted. People who care about you will accept you as you are. They'll appreciate who you are. They will value who you are. Hang out with those folks, okay? If they're available. If not, just do it Do it yourself. Lean into it. Be free. Exercise your freedom. Love on yourself. Express who you are and enjoy yourself and have laughs. Seize the moment. Enjoy every moment. Enjoy every breath. Make the magic happen for yourself. And that's what I'll leave you with today. Don't forget, give me your comments, subscribe to the channel, share with a friend. Help me out here. It's been great being with you today. Go out there, be free, live your life, enjoy yourself, and don't let anyone tell you who you are. Define that, create the life you want for yourself. See you on the next Lovin Sheila. Bye for now.